I want to leave you better. I want my life to matter. I am afraid I have no purpose here. I watch the news on TV.
Hey, Dan back with another video. Before I get into the video, I wanted to announce a few changes that I'm going to make. I'm going to go to some of the previous videos and change the titles where they have an episode number. So if you are following along in the series of videos, you'll be able to keep track of which ones you watch. Also, the upcoming videos should be watching in a certain order, especially the next three, including this one. So today's video is on the secret to good dog training. Now, when I let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, I know some people are going to immediately halt the video or go on to something else. And I ask you to bear with me and actually look at the rest of the videos in this series, because I think the videos will detail as to why people aren't having more success with their dog training. So with much further ado, the secret to good dog training is dogs want to get good things and they want to avoid bad things. Exactly the same as with people. If you think about your own life, your entire life has been geared towards that. And again, I can go into some very specific examples, but people will say, of course, Dan, you idiot. Everybody knows that. This is a waste of time. Is it really? I routinely run into people that will say things like, this is after training with me for a couple sessions. They'll say, my dog's in the backyard and I go to call my dog and my dog just ignores me and continues sniffing whatever they're sniffing. And I'm thinking, well, the answer to that question is kind of obvious. First of all, if the dog returned to you, what good thing would they get that they don't already get all the time anyways? And if they don't return to you, what bad consequence would happen to them? Typically, most of these dogs don't even understand the concept of a consequence. So that's highly problematic. Now, trainers on both ends of the spectrums, they tell their clients these incredible set of lies. And, it's just hard to fathom that people can even buy into this or believe it. The pure positive people will, or the reward only community, just in case some of you aren't familiar with the term pure positive, the reward only community will say, we're going to, reward the dog for a period of time. And once they have the understanding, we'll slowly phase out the treats and that behavior will become default. Well, I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life. Now, if the dog naturally enjoyed doing the behaviors, yeah, that's correct. But if it's something the dog didn't want to do, give yourself this analogy. If your employer stopped paying you, how long would you go to work? I would guess not for very long. You go to work to get a paycheck. Why do you go to work? You go to work so you can buy yourself nice shiny things. You also have the consequences. If you stop going to work, you might not have food to eat. You might not have a roof over your head. You might, in the wintertime, freeze to death. There's a whole set of consequences. Our entire lives are geared or driven by wanting to get good things and wanting to avoid bad things, and a dog is no different. Now, I'm going to be fair here. On the other end of the spectrum, you have all kinds of e-collar trainers or e-collar only trainers or even balance trainers that will put forth the lie that, that e-collar, it's only ever a cell phone call to your dog. Well, let's think that through for a second. If the dog's favorite thing in life is to run after and kill and eat a rabbit, you think giving him a call saying, no, don't do that. Just come back to me. And the dog's going to go, yeah, you're right. Just screw the rabbit and whatever, and come directly back to you. I don't know. People believe this stuff, though. They think that it's ever only a very light sort of stimulation, like a tap on the shoulder, and tap on the shoulder. That's what a lot of these people say. And that's all that it is. I'm sorry, but if you believe that, oh boy, yeah, I have some beachfront for sale for you. So, anyways, um, let's consider the cell phone call thing. Say somebody put $100 on the ground and your friend's about to pick it up, and you call him, say, no, 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 don't pick up the $100. Don't pick up the $100. He goes, why? Just don't. You'd be, yeah, I don't think so. And you'd grab the $100 and put it in your pocket. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so I have a much better analogy that tears apart this myth of, every dog, if you do something long enough and enough times, that's going to become pattern behaviors, and also the tap on the shoulder myth, right? Okay, so a fictitious scenario. There's a young man of 20 years old, and you pay him $20 every day to sit in a chair for 5 minutes. And he said, well, it's only $20. But then he says, yeah, you know what? That's $240 an hour. That's actually pretty good money, even though I'm just getting $20. So day after day, he comes back, he sits in the chair for 5 minutes, you give him the $20, $20, $20. This goes on for an entire year. At the end of 1 year, somebody else shows up. And they say, you know what? If you can run 500 feet, climb over a wall, at the end of the 500 feet, I will give you $2 million, a mansion to live in, a Lamborghini to drive, and you will get to have, air quotes, relations with a supermodel. And that's about as politically correct as I can make it. And yeah, but here's the caveat. So the caveat is that while you're trying to run that 500 feet, two very large men are going to beat you with sticks, okay? And these men are very strong, and the beating might translate into your death. So you will have some people that will say, you know what, I don't think I could endure that type of beating. There's no way I'm going to risk that in a million years. You have other people where they could be beaten to death on their beaten 1 inch from death on their first attempt. They heal up, and if given another chance, they would attempt it again. Well, guess what? There's dogs exactly like that. So when people say they can stop any dog with an e-collar, that's a lie. A heavy, extreme aversive for some dogs won't even be enough. Repeating the back to the lie, the reward-only community tells is if you do the behavior long enough, well, we paid somebody every day for a year. How many years are you going to reward only train your dog, and then magically one day he'll have a bomb-proof recall or whatever else you're trying to train? It's simply ridiculous. As humans, we are very fascinated with those that are willing to take risk. One only needs to look at the popular Netflix series. Popular doesn't even begin to sum it up. It's probably one of the most popular of all time, but the series called Squid Game. So the premise of the series is that there is this group of people that, due to gambling habits and everything else, they're in very deep debt to the point that people are beginning to look for them. Well, along comes this other group of people and says, if you can win all of these games, you can win this fabulous sum of money where that'll erase your debts and you'll never have to work another day in your life. The catch to the game is that during the course of the game, you might die. So my scenario that I was saying about going over the wall, I've been telling giving that scenario probably for about 10 years, and along comes this series Squid Game, which is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I know some of you will say, well, that's simply all fiction. The real world doesn't work that way. Come on, people competing in games to get great fortune and things like that. Well, let's consider all the people that leave their homeland to go to a foreign land for hopes of a better life or to escape danger. And please, no political comments. in the comment section, because I'll delete them immediately and ban you from the my YouTube page. But let's just consider that people cross deserts, they go across seas or oceans and land on foreign shores. They have no idea what's going to happen to them. They might die during the travel, and there isn't anything guaranteed. People do that every single day around the world, right? We have people trying to, emigrate from one place to another, in hopes of a better life. So let's not say that's fiction for a second, because this is very well supported. Anyways, my greatest hope with this video is that with some of the things that I've said, it's going to cause people to do some critical thinking and reanalyze what they're trying to accomplish with their dog and what the obstacles are. Again, everybody says train for the dog in front of you, but how many are actually doing that? I've outlined, some extreme cases of dogs where no matter what they've been through, they might want to continue gambling. Doing countless repetitions with positive reinforcement isn't going to fix those dogs. Now, let me get onto the other type of dog. Dogs that say aren't very driven, right? That most of the time they're not the type of dog that gets into trouble, but some of them might have some bad habits. And if you're having to jump up and down and wave food under their nose, and your dog half the time is focused on other things, you need to do some very careful analysis as to what makes your dog tick. Because if you have to do this every time you train, I can promise you're probably wasting your time. You need to find a different approach. As I was alluding to earlier, doing things with a dog that's not really motivated for your reward is not going to pay huge dividends. So, anyways, in future videos, I'm going to get into some of the reasons why some of these dogs fail, some creative approaches, and how basically how people sabotage their own success. But anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that you watch the future videos to see exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, thanks, and have a great day.